Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be reviewing the Tenitol Alice from the video game Nikke Goddess of Victory. Now, this is the first Tenitol I've ever owned. I've seen a lot on display, but this is basically Furyu's challenge to Pop-Up Parade. Pretty much every company's done sort of like a challenge to Pop-Up Parade now, where there's a mid-range figurine based on a certain property and at a similar height and proportion-wise, just as sort of like a big screw you to Pop-Up Parade, because a lot of people aren't super happy with it, or at least I'm not super happy with Pop-Up Parade, because they have a lot of good IP, because it's a good Smile company, but the quality control is all over the place, and because they have to fit in at a certain size for the figurine, the scaling is all over the place a lot of the time. The bases change constantly, and even figures within the same line have different bases, and it does not match. Tenitol is something that's similar in concept, but every figure is almost like standalone, where they have a unique base to them, they're a pretty okay size, and they can just look nice on a shelf. Effectively, they're sort of like that general prize figure scale, and they are much better than a prize figure in terms of quality, and the ones that I've seen on display in a lot of stores look pretty darn good. And I really like Nikke, I like Alice. They're not my favourite character, but I do use them a lot in my main lineup, so I thought I'd grab this statue because I didn't want to shell out the money for one of the big scales. And hopefully they'll do more of these in the future. One thing that Tenitol is very similar to in terms of rivalry to Pop-Up Parade is the box design isn't the best. Like Pop-Up Parade, I don't really like the clear box look that much, but at least you can see the full figure. This one, all of the Tenitols have this white box with a window into the figure. No promo images around or anything like that, and sometimes they don't give a good idea of what this character looks like. They don't look great on a shelf all lined up, they all look very bleh, and yeah, not the best. But taken out of the box, Alice looks quite good. I'm pretty happy with this. I liked it because it was also a somewhat dynamic pose. That's one of the other things Tenitol does. It's like semi-dynamic poses, like not super actiony, but have a little bit more expression than just like stock standard standing poses, or sometimes what Pop-Up Parade does, which is that like fake movement sort of look that doesn't look super dynamic but doesn't look static either. It's kind of hard to explain. But this looks like somewhat dynamic pose. But here she is out on display and looks really, really good. I am happy with how it turned out. This is very much a like lower quality figure, but with a pretty good paint job. It's not crazy by any means, but it's not bad either. I didn't really find any errors or anything like that, but I feel like just general paint quality could have been enhanced just a tiny little bit. I can't really explain what it's missing, but it just feels like something's just a tiny bit off. I think it might be in the color of the hair or the detailing on the face. I feel like there could have been just a tiny bit more, but in general, the figure does look good and it does read as Alice. All of the paintwork is good. All of the minor details, I'm pretty sure decals on her chest and leg, are very clean and well applied. And I don't really see any major issues, just doesn't look as good as a scale figure. That's roughly what I'm trying to say. But if you want a mostly affordable mid-range figure from a phone game without shelling out money to get the character in the game, then this is pretty good. It's simple, it's well done, and it has a mix of good paintwork and nice detailing, reads as who they're meant to be, and has nice little extra details, like on the back of the figure having detail on the bottom of her shoe, something that you don't really need to do because it's not going to be on display, but it is nice to have nonetheless. Now, of course, this is Nikke, so a lot of what comes down to your mileage on this is effectively how attractive you find the characters, how much you want to goon, or things like that. But this is a very well detailed figure, we'll say. If we're being serious, all of the work on her hair looks really good. It's nice, flowing, and dynamic. It's asymmetrical, which I really, really like. And it does feel very unique, very lively, and I do like how all of that is done. All of the crease work in her outfit looks nice. The high gloss finish looks very, very good as well, and you can see the contours of the body very, very well. On the back, they've pretty much nailed the look from the game, and it's kind of hard not to nail that look because of how often you see it when you play it. If you know, you know. But it is a very well detailed figure from all angles. They did a very, very good job. There is just some minor little things that, like I said, I can't quite put my finger on, but I do think it's something to do with the hair coloring, might be a bit of overspray, or they could have done a bit more shading here or there. But in general, not the best, not the worst either, but looks quite good and captures the character pretty alright. In general, I don't think that there's too much to talk about because I don't have really any gripes about this figure. It's just nice. Would I like more Nikke Tenitols? Probably, because if they all scale together, it would be nice to have them. I don't know how this will look up after we sort of like line it up against other prize figures or scales. I feel like if other prize figures come out and they're not to the same scale as this, or you get scale figures and put them with this, it won't look nearly as nice. But as a standalone figure, it does look quite good. It's just one of those things, as the collection grows, you can't really tell if this will actually look good in the future or not. But for the time being, it does look pretty good. Honestly, probably better than anything Pop-Up Parade would pump out. There are a ton of different finishes on the figure, matte, satin, and gloss, and they've done a good job on all of it. It all comes in one piece besides the base, and that is very, very nice. There are no instructions, but also no need for instructions. I don't know if a lot of Tenitols do get super advanced for assembly, or they do need instructions for assembly. But as it stands, this is a pretty good first look at what this brand can do, and it's been going for a little bit. And if that's the sort of baseline that I'm looking at, and with the price point similar to Pop-Up Parade but a little bit more expensive, then I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time.